Right, we are finally live for the season 4 finale at Watkins Glen. Look at that. Already coming to an end. This season is pretty sad, but a good end, I think. We definitely have had a lot of great races, and well, all I can say is thank you for everybody who's been tuning in to the streams and everybody who has been kindly supporting us on all social medias. So thank you so much. We are about to get underway for the final time for 3 weeks, I guess. Here we have Imran Zahaili. We are just spectating randomly while I just get most of the stuff down and ready to go. I don't think there's anything wrong with the stream quality, I hope. It looks pretty fine on my screen. I have no clue. Need to get the ACC TV stuff out. I've been a bit late with this whole entire stuff, so apologies for the delay. But hopefully all of our drivers can join and we can have a great end to the season. 10 people on right now. There will be more to come, I think, as we get everybody gathered around for the last time. Not gonna lie, this has been at least 2 years since I've driven around Watkins Glen. Last time in PC2. Let's see how today's race is gonna go. Well, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of drivers haven't seen the light of Watkins Glen. And it'll be really fun to see who can come out on top. Obviously, we don't really have a battle for the championship anymore, as Ayrton Stefano took that crown in Suzuka, so no need to worry about a fight for that anymore. Missing a few drivers. Yeah, looks like a lot of people have decided to go on early holidays or whatever happened there. 11 people on right now. Interesting to say the least. Now, who are we missing? Seems like there's a lot of people who decided to not sign out of the final race and just kind of continue on with their day. So it seems like we might just have 11 people for this race. Now, I'm not complaining, since tomorrow we are going to have an Assetto Corsa race as well. Matas isn't in this race. Yeah, he says that it's he doesn't have enough money to afford the Watkins Glen DLC, so sadly has to pass on this race. Now, what do we see here? Are we going to get more people to join, or is it just going to be these guys? Well, while that happens, yeah, there we go. Subham Chowdhury says the fastest lap time of the race, a 1:46. That's definitely going to be beaten by the likes of Abe Santama and Ayrton Stefano, but for now, Subham can take his provisional top spot in this this practice. Not qualifying. It's not qualifying yet. Shouldn't get ahead of myself so quick. Now, we are on autopilot mode, but it looks like it actually just doesn't want to switch from Imran Zahaili, so we're just going to be looking at his Audi laps. Let's have a look at Josh Buckwater, who right now is going 8/10 quicker on this lap. He's probably going to be setting the quickest lap time off in the practice session right now. It's going to be a 1:46.195, so that is a pretty decent lap time from the American driver. And another fastest lap by Ayrton Stefano, a 1:44.4, so already blowing everybody out the water. A whole 1.4 seconds ahead of Abe Santama even, who has done a 1:45.9. Lost one person from the session. Well, not anymore. They're back. So, don't you even worry, Matas. You don't have to be worried at all. Now, who are we missing who's probably just decided to slack off for a bit? Let's have a look. Glad I'm not embarrassing myself then. Well, absolutely, you don't have to be spinning in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a track you don't even remember, so... No, can't just copy an image apparently. Just copies. Alright, well. This is getting annoying. Copy image. There we go. Send this out to everybody. Just in case. 9 people watching, almost as many as racing. Okay, Matas. You don't have to be so cruel. You don't have to be so cruel. Windows aren't open, so we might as well get that done right now. Alex Kingston, 120 seconds off the pace. Interesting, interesting. Not even gonna lie, that is a pretty big gap to the leaders. So is Andre Lloyd, 139.7 seconds. I don't even know how you do that. I think everyone decided to spectate the race instead of racing. Yeah. Well, that would be nice. We'd have a pretty big broadcast if everybody just decided to watch the race instead. People. Interesting how, I guess, already end of August. I guess a lot of people are heading out or just coming back from their holidays. Let me in, I'll race. The entire grid switches to spectate mode, leaving Taha to finish P1 alone. Well, we'll see. I think today's stream might just be mainly a conversational stream. I don't think there's going to be many fights going on, as we see like Ayrton Stefano nearly 1 second ahead of Imran Zahaili. Interesting. Actually, it's not even Abe Santama who's second, it is Imran Zahaili, so... We'll see how these guys do. Seems like the gap is pretty close as well. There we go. Another person joins in, so that is 13. That is one more than it was previously, so... We get one more person to join the fight as we're just spectating Camille Taha's car with the Apex Legends logo on the back. A very beautiful car. I don't even remember what the team is called. Something Lizard. Something Lizard. Not even sure. I think as practice comes to an end, we can also start talking about next season, which is going to be in 3 weeks from now. In the middle of that is going to be a 12-hour of 12-hour of what? 12-hour Watkins Glen. We're going to come back to Watkins Glen. So if you have booked a hotel there, then please do stay there. I guess the rule that only allows a few missed races didn't pay out this season either. But let's keep it short, right? Sorry. Sorry that certain rules may infuriate you. It's just something we do to protect our drivers so then they don't, you know, get obliterated by aliens who decide to join on the last race. It's been a talking point of the next season anyway. We are thinking of returning to the splits, so that is a total of 80 drivers signing up, I guess we would need, and then 40-40 that would go to Pro and AM, not the splits. Yeah, absolutely. Matas is going to be in the AM split again. I'm going to be boasting about his wins there. No, but it's going to probably be something like Silver and Pro. It's going to be 40-40 on each side, possibly different tracks. You know, going to be something to ponder when the season ends. The rule hurts the league every season. It sure hurts more than me pointing the obvious or even your reckless driving. But yeah, never point out the obvious. My reckless driving. I haven't even been racing this season. And the last season I raced in, I actually didn't do too bad in terms of penalties. I think I only had one penalty for crashing into Mohammed Irfan at the Bathurst race. And then that was pretty much it. I think that is the least amount of penalties I had in a season in Assetto Corsa compared to Gione, so proud of that. Not sure what you're trying to achieve here. I think we are going to be talking about different rules. We are going to be discussing different strategies of improving the league. We are only on the 4th season, unlike some leagues that are on their bajillion season, coming to like 2 years. We're barely even 1 year old, so let's just keep it a bit down. And we are definitely talking about different strategies of improving. I'm talking about people that are not allowed to race today, but wanted to, me included. Well, it is hard sometimes. I think, again, we don't want people signing up for the final race or just the races that they want. I think that happened in season 1. Some people signed up only for the monster race, completely dominated, did a 1-2 finish, and then completely ruined the season for a couple of our drivers who got robbed basically of the 1-2 seat because they joined for only one race, and that is exactly what we don't want, I think. And also your point of keeping the regulars is completely unnecessary. We don't want to be rewarding the regulars that much, as in everybody should be quite equal in this league. I don't want to be, you know, giving absolute praise to the people that decide to stay around. Obviously it is great, and we try to help regulars out more in joining different sorts of races and teaming them up with us in longer endurance races, but in terms of league, I don't think it should be rewarded that much. No matter us going off track in formation lap Yeah, exactly. Not going to be a lot of fun in terms of Matas spinning today. I'll possess some driver for it. I think whoever spins out Peter Creamers today is going to be possessed by Matas. And they're going to be spinning all around. So keep an eye out for that. So if somebody dares to even come close to Peter Creamers, then I think they're going to get a hefty spin. As Amranza Haley comes across the line, and we have qualifying underway. First spin of the day, you take credit for. First spin of the day. Now, who is going to be the Matas spin today? I'm just trying to think. Will it be one of the Porsches? But I don't think it will, because Porsche's super strong on this track. Will it be the Ferrari? Now, who is the Ferrari? I think we only have 2 Ferraris today, Alex Kingston and Sabum Chowdhury. So I don't think they will spin. Will it be the Honda? Now, the Honda is pretty hard to handle in this track, or any sort of track at all. So we'll see if maybe they will be the first ones to spin. Right now, just looking at Camille Taha starting his outlap, just coming to the end of Sector 2 now. So hopefully he has his tires all nice and warmed up and ready to go for the for the first lap of the final race of the season. That's what I wanted to say, but I couldn't. As he just makes a pass on Harry Clayton. Harry Clayton being the Honda driver at risk of spinning, I think. I think we might see Honda do a little 360. Ayrton Stefano already completed his outlap and going on for a fast lap. He is already going pretty purple, but that's because nobody else has gone out on track yet. At least for a flying lap, except Camille Taha and Harry Clayton now. We'll see what it does. Can also talk about the different tracks and which ones are easier for which split. Now, I think, in my honest opinion, I think Monza is really easy, at least in the AM split, but that could cause a lot of carnage if we were to do that in the AM split, as Felix Pegland just goes off, letting Abe Santima through. I don't even know what tracks are easy. I think all of them are pretty hard, except maybe Paul Ricard. I think Paul Ricard is pretty easy in terms of no big elevation changes and no big turns that you need to be super prepared for. Now Bathurst, Spa, and as Abe Santima just does a 1:44.7. Bathurst, Spa, Zolder, and I think Kota. Those are pretty pro tracks. I think those are pretty hard to stay in line with, especially Bathurst, where any small mistake can end up in a wall. Spa just for the sake of leaving Spa out of the beginner's way, as Miranza Haley does a 1:43.9. Very quick lap time from him. Miranza Haley proving just what he can do in this final race. Ayrton Stefano stuck behind Mark Starks, possibly a bit anxious with his pole position going off, as Alex Kingston sets a lap time just 8.5 hundredths off Miranza Haley. But Miranza Haley is improving on his lap time, which means that we will see a faster lap time. I don't know what I was going to say there. Ayrton Stefano surprisingly not even going purple, so what has happened to his pace? He's going a second faster than an imaginary lap time that we didn't even see because he went for another outlap. And this lap time is going to be a 1:44.6, so that is slower than his fastest lap so far. That is Abe Santima as well in the pits. 1:44.7 for him. Not too shabby. As Abe Santima just lets his pal Camille Taha go. Camille Taha currently going just for another lap. I don't think his last one was too quick. Definitely a 1:46.3 is good enough. He had a 1:45.7 but invalidated it somewhere, so we'll see if he improves, and if he does, he'll be moving ahead of Josh Buckwater, who's currently sitting in P5. My bad. What can we see here? Alex Kingston, that is going purple on his lap. He's going 1/10 quicker, which is enough for him to go ahead of Miranza Haley, who's now in the pits, not able to finish his last quick lap time. So we might see, finally, a British pole position, unless Ayrton Stefano can snatch it away. He's going 5/10 quicker this lap already, but he's nearing the end. So it's not going to be enough to go ahead of Alex Kingston, not going to be enough to get ahead of Miranza Haley, but it's definitely going to close the gap. 700ths of a second now between Ayrton Stefano and Alex Kingston, but Alex Kingston going quicker this lap time already. He's going 1/10 quicker. Can he improve towards the end of this lap? We'll find out soon. As actually he just makes a bit of a mistake and he goes off, and that is an invalid lap time. Not able to finish this one off, unfortunately for him. And that is Ayrton Stefano now going purple. He's going 2/10 quicker, 1/10 quicker now than his previous best, which is a 1:44.08. He might just go a 1:43 if everything goes well. Alex Kingston, though, still going purple. And who else is going purple? Because now the purple light has gone off completely. Nobody's going quicker on their lap times. That is very unfortunate for our drivers in hand. Now here comes Ayrton Stefano. He is going to jump up to P2 for a bit. If he can finish this one off. There is Ayrton Stefano just finishing his lap time. Getting super close to the wall. That is how you want to do it. And will he be moving ahead? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Oh, that is such a minuscule gap. It is 1700ths of a second slower than Alex Kingston. Is Alex Kingston even improving on his lap time? I don't think he is. Felix Palin, though, he's going a 10th quicker already. Sabum Chowdhury going 5/10ths quicker on his lap time. Mohammed Irfan decided to join just in the middle of this qualifying session. Imran Zahaili going a 10th quicker than his fastest lap time, which is 1:43.9, the only person to be in the 1:43 so far. I was thinking that 1:44s was quick, but 1:43, Jesus. Imran Zahaili really going to take his first and last pole position of the season if he can just fend off the other 3 quick drivers behind him. Now, will he be finishing first today? It will all come down to the race. The race is going to be pretty chill, I think. There he is, man at question. I think it's going to be a pretty chill race. It's going to be just like Laguna Seca last season, just a bit of fun, just checking out different bits and bobs and not stressing out about too many overtakes, not a lot of things happening, as Peter Cream is in the background giving us a bit of a drift show. And that definitely didn't help his lap time either. 2/10 slower now. Sabum Chowdhury, he is just 6/10 off Peter Creamers for P6. Imran Zahaili not improving on this lap time, at least from what I can see. Might be going just that little 100th quicker. No, he doesn't. Sadly, that's going to be a 10th slower. It's going to be a 1:44.1. So it seems like he's got a pretty quick first sector, but now he's just not able to improve on his final sector, because already he's improving by a whole 10th. 2/10. Going purple so early on is a very interesting sign. But so far not able to finish his lap times at all. 3/10 quicker already. There he is. Oh, and he just binned it going through there. So that is unlucky for him. He's going to have to try again next time, but time is running out. Alex Kingston just donning his lap time as well. He was going a 10th quicker until he met Peter Creamers out there on track, and now lost that 1/10 advantage. Abe Santama going a 10th quicker this lap already. He's just coming up to the 3rd sector now. And there goes Alex Kingston, just a bit of drift. And that is already 1.1 seconds slower than his previous best. So nobody able to improve on their lap time so far. There is Adia Sathya. Haven't seen too much of him today. His fastest lap time, a 1:48.3. Can definitely go quicker than that. As Imran Zahaili is yet again going a 10th quicker on this lap. Might we see this lap finally come true? So he's just 2/10 quicker. He didn't mess up the corner that he did last time. So that is a good sign of improvement. He is now just over 2/10 quicker. 3/10 now. He's just coming up to the end of Sector 2. He's going to be coming up to what I think is one of the hardest sectors in this track. On this track, sorry. He's 4/10 up. Now, will he screw this up, or will he actually finish this lap time with a banger? If he does finish this off, then he'll be going way ahead of the competition. 15 thousandths of a second behind Chowdhury. Now, that is very close. Both doing a 1:45. And one of them just coming faster than the other. Seems like Imran so far not messing up this lap time at all, pretty much. He's going purple, a tenth quicker now, so he lost about 2/10, but anyway, that'll be AO1 43.7, so 2.5 tenths quicker than Alex Kingston, who cannot, for the life of him, get a quicker lap time. Time is running out, so people need to get a move on. Let's have a look. Anybody improving? Alex Kingston, he's going a tenth quicker, but he has not been able to finish his lap time so far. Ayrton Stefano is going a tenth quicker that lap time, just for a second. Actually, we're going to look at his lap time. He is super duper close to Alex Kingston for P2. 17 tenths. 1700s, sorry. 1700s off. No, 17 thousandths, I think, is how you say it. 17 thousandths off Alex Kingston for P2. The only front row seat left that is visible to the drivers behind him, Ransa Haley. Now, oh, that was damage to Ayrton Stefano's car. Will he be able to go quicker? No, he doesn't, but that was super close. I bet if he didn't have that little moment into the wall, then he would have definitely been on the front row. He just went 3 tenths slower, 3 seconds, no, 300 slower on that lap time that he had the damage, and now he's gonna have to carry on with it. I don't know what he's doing, why he hasn't gone back to the pits. He's not going to be improving on his lap time because of all the aero damage that he's got. Abe is washed, not even top 3. Well, Abe's Matas, you wouldn't even be able to qualify for this race. I think you would have been stuck behind Harry Clayton for all I know. But as I was saying, that Ayrton Stefano is not going to be able to go quicker this lap time because of all that damage. He's going purple. 2 tenths quicker already, coming up to the end of Sector 2. He's 4 tenths now. Time is hard, yeah. Sure is. I can't get it completely right. Definitely a working point for next season. And for the next race, which is tomorrow at 4 o'clock BST on Assetto Corsa. Our first Assetto Corsa race so far. It is going to be a Mx5 Cup Car Race on Horsma, the fantasy track, and there's so far 22 people signed up. As Ayrton Stefano, is he going to be able to take front row on the final race of the season? And yes, he does. There he is, a 1:43.897, so close to pole position. Just 1.2 tenths slower than Mr. Imran Zahaili. Now, Imran Zahaili completely blowing all of us out of our chairs. I think I'm definitely pretty surprised with the Audi driver at his abilities to keep it nice and under control in the Audi. So, is Imran Zahaili the quicker driver in the Audi than Abe Santama? Most likely. I think most drivers now are not going to be really caring about what they do. It is really close to the end. I think the only people that need to get a move on are Mohammed Irfan, who is currently on an outlap, I feel. Just trying to warm up his tyres. Peter Kremers, he started a flying lap time for the final time of the race. Of the of the season. Felix Paland also starting his final flying lap. So far a 10th up. So is Peter Kremers. Mohammed Irfan just coming to the start-finish line soon. Everyone outside top 3 is washed. That includes you, Matas. That includes you. Right, Mohammed Irfan, let's... we'll cut back to him later on. I just want to look at Peter Kremers' lap. He's 3/10 quicker on this one already. This one might propel him into the 144s if he can keep it nice and under control. We're actually just going to go on the inside, or maybe it's just the bonnet cam. You see that radiator nice and cold as it should be. I don't think anybody has ever talked about seeing temperature without a thermostat, but here I am. That radiator looking nice and cold, and oh, he messes it up. That was 5/10 quicker already. He could have been in P6, he could have been in P5, and now it's all gone to waste. But we have our final person to come across the line, which is going to be Mohammed Irfan. We're just going to look at the splitter camera. No, we're going to look at the cockpit camera, see how confident Mohammed Irfan is that he's going to be going ahead of Abe Santama. Now, will he? Is the big question. He's only at 10th up. That's not going to be enough to get him ahead of Abe Santama. He needs at least 4/10. Will he be able to grab it at the end of this lap? He is twitching from side to side. Did Abe Santama pull a large enough gap on Mohammed Irfan to secure the second row position? I think he did, as Mohammed Irfan abandons the lap time and goes back to the pits. And there is your grid for today's race. I think it's the same as the Suzuka grid, actually maybe a bit bigger. So, for everybody that's grieving about how small the grid is, I think we are still doing pretty good for a long season in the summer. Now, just remember, this is summer. A lot of people do have to go, well, not have to go on holidays, but it's smaller. Oh, okay, so maybe I just forgot something. A lot of people are going on holidays, and some people are just returning back to their educational institutions. So we are hoping that we'll get a whole lot amount of drivers around about mid-September. Not that I'm saying that everybody here is bad that hasn't joined, but definitely possibly disappointing for the drivers that there is not enough people to fight, as Adi Asathi is just taking a detour around the track. It looks like just practicing the laps, I guess. Well, I don't know what he's doing. As you can see on the on a little track map, he's the only person out on track, and he just entered Sector 2, so I guess we're just going to have to wait for him. I think he exited the pit for what seemed to be the final time in this season for qualifying. Usain School, that makes them sound like mental asylum as well. I personally think they are. I'm predicting some goof middle field racing today. Now, yeah, they're pretty close. I think from about 6th to 12th, people are very close. 1st to 5th, not so close. And 13 and 14, also pretty close. 6/10 off. Bro, get in the pits. I don't know what he's doing. Just stalling the race start. I think a lot of people are going to be a bit disappointed with what Adi Asathi is doing. Hello, Sebastefano. Good practice, good qualifying. Yeah, he's just continued on his lap. What is he doing? Adios, Sathya, please. Spare us. Return back to the pits. There we go. Oh, what a goof. What an absolute end to the season. Adios, Sathya. Not wanting to end the qualifying. Had to wait the whole 3 minutes of overtime in order to get this one underway. Alright. Final time of the season. Final time in season 4. The summer season, it seemed like. And we have a different pole sitter. That is Imran Zahali, the number 12 Audi. Hasn't had the best season so far, but has redeemed himself by getting this pole position. A pretty big margin as well to our champion of season 4, Ayrton Stefano, in a number 98 blue McLaren. Again, a very good drive from him, taking 4 wins and 1 second place. Alex Kingston last time out had a power issue in his home. Was in a very close battle with Abe Santama, who is alongside him on row 2. A lowly season for him, currently sitting about 6th in the standings. Definitely not where he wants to be, but he's going to hope to gather a lot of points today. Next to them is Mohammed Irfan, who decided to change his livery up a bit. A nice little Motul NSX GT3 livery, just a bog standard Honda racing one. Alongside him, Josh Buckwater, the person who finished, I don't even remember where, in the 6th hour of Kyalami. I'm very sorry. It was a pretty long race and a pretty big grid, so not surprised that I don't remember where he finished. Peter Kremers, a really disappointing season from him again. Sadly, none of it his fault. Just involved in a lot of crashes that just cannot be avoided at all. He is thinking, though, of changing his car, so maybe that will help him out in Season 5. Subham Chaudhary. Now, we've seen this man grow from Season 2. He's done a great job of improving his racecraft, improving his lap times, and overall consistency as well, sitting alongside Peter Kremers, his, I'd say, mentor, and out-qualifying Camille Tahan, the number 22 Porsche, in the Flying Lizard racing. Now, I thought it was Yellow Lizard because of the colour, but I guess it's Flying Lizard, who's going to be participating in the Assetto Corsa Mx5 Cup sprint race. Now, there's a mouthful to say at Horsma. Beautiful little neon yellow livery with the McDonald's on the back. Andre Lloyd, the genius at livery making, joining us, Camille Taha on the grid. There we have the other ORC boy, Felix Palant, in the Lamborghini, possibly going to change his car as well because he hasn't had the best season in this Lamborghini. I definitely remember him being much more competitive in the Honda. Adios Sathya in the number 13 BMW, just lining alongside Felix Palant. Mark Stux, our longest driver in the whole entire league. Basically from race 1 to now he has been racing, so well done to him for being a pretty regular driver. And Harry Clayton for the final time, starting at the back of the grid with the same livery as Mohammed Irfan. So there we have it. Move over to the front as they're just going to get underway for the formation lap. Who will spin first? Gamba. My bet is on an Audi. The Audi. Now, which Audi are you talking about? Are you talking about the possible Vgtr eSport livery Audi, or are you talking about the livery, the current Audi we're spectating? Gonna win the Assetto Corsa Mx5 race? Well, we'll see. You have had a pretty good practice lap so far. Definitely setting some very quick ones, nearly quicker than me, maybe even quicker than me. I don't even remember what my lap time is. Should have let Matas do this. Yeah, sadly he's not even here. in terms of he can't, because he doesn't have money to watch the race. So I wish, I really do wish that I could have him next to me in the co-commentator space, because that would be hilarious. But yeah, not able to do that because somebody has had I'd say interesting financial choices with buying an old BMW and trying to fix it all up. Proceeds to join your VC while yeah, I don't think you can. I'll find a way. Well, if you can hack into my computer, and like, don't know, join my radio channel of some sort. I don't even know how you do that. Then yeah, sure, you can definitely commentate alongside me. I don't even know. Right, well, coming up to the final sector of the final formation lap in the final race of the final time in August 2022. I guess that's true. No, it's not the final race in August 2022. What am I talking about? It is the second to last race in August 2022. If Kermit was online, I'd ask him to drop me into your VC, unless he's not. Well, I'm not even in VC. So that is a bit of an issue. Let's just go on to the TV camera. Very nice, tilted way. I'd force you to be in VC. Wow. I'd have to be paid to be forced, not any other forcing. Right, so what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be 5 red lights out? Is it gonna be a couple? I don't even know. What is it gonna be? It's just gonna be green flags, and off we go. As they just come up to the finish line. What is it gonna be? It is a 14 car grid. We've had a lot of carnage with 10 car grids. So we'll see what happens today as the green flag is waved for the final time of the season, and Amaranta Haley gets an amazing start off the line. Camille Tahar just trying to get alongside Peter, but not able to do so. Amaranta Haley already 6/10 ahead, 7/10 ahead of Alex Kingston, who has been caught napping and is currently under a lot of pressure from Abe Santama, who's trying to get the final podium position. He's just having to slot right behind him. He was going to go alongside him. Now is he going to be braking way later than him into the into the bus stop chicane, whatever it's called? No, he won't, and that will give Alex Kingston just some room to breathe. Abe Santama not able to really catch anybody napping. It looks like some people tumbling down the order, but I don't think there was many changes in the grid. Actually, none. Very interesting track this is then, as Abe Santama is actually falling off the back of Alex Kingston, and now it is going to be Mohamed Irfan chasing down Abe Santama, who's getting chased by Josh Buckwater behind them. So we'll see how this pans out. Mohamed Irfan getting eerily close already, 2 minutes past. It's not even started the first lap and he's already 3/10 off him, just chasing that Audi. And there's not a lot of passing places on this track, but if he can get a better exit into the final corner or into any sort of straight, then he can definitely profit from that and possibly get P4 as a result. Now, he does have a better exit, and he does have the benefit of the toe. It is not a really long straight, but is he going to be challenging him down to the inside? No, he doesn't. Not enough space there to keep him going. Audi has to nail the start, absolutely, but he has so. And he's now 7/10 ahead, and Alex Kingston 1/10 behind Ayrton Stefano, indeed. Is the Among Us thing happening after the race, or was it just a joke? I think it is actually happening, so if you guys want to join such impostery, sussy gaming, then please do stick around for that. I don't think it'll be streamed, but I do think it'll be happening in the general VC. Alright, Mohammed Irfan falling off the back of Abe Santom at 8/10 now, the gap. Most people actually falling off a bit, so not able to do much. And we'll see how the pace pans out between these drivers. I don't think they're too different on pace. I think they'll be pretty similar, as far from what I know. Mohammed Irfan, 1.1 seconds now the gap, but Ayrton Stefano able to find whatever time, and he's now chasing down the Imran Zahali in the audience. Just as I say that, commentator's curse, he goes off and loses just a bit of traction. But again, he has just found those 6/10 somewhere upon these 2 laps, and now he's 4/10 off Imran Zahali. Now, is he going to be taking his 5th win of the season, or is it going to end in a dud and him with the first DNF? Now, I hope that doesn't happen. We don't want anybody to be DNFing from this already small grid. 4/10 the gap. The McLaren treating him pretty well. He says that he can go quicker in the BMW though, so has he just been sandbagging for the sake of content for us? Now, I may add, it has been a very clean start so far. It has been 5 minutes, 2 laps, and nobody has sent it down the inside, collected anybody, spun, or the other. So, very well done to the drivers for doing a good job of keeping it nice and safe, nice and clean for the final race of the season. It's probably because Matas isn't there. Well, that is absolutely true. I think not having Matas definitely takes some weight off the shoulders of the drivers, that they're not going to be punted or having a spinning car just in front of them. So definitely a good thing at that. Ayrton Stefano, though, just hanging back from Imran Zahali. As what has happened to Peter Creamers again? His car in pieces, his confidence not much better. Let's just have a look at what happened here. Now, we are going to come to one of the hardest corners on this track. It is very easy to get this one wrong. Now, did he do the classic method of just spinning it a bit? And yes, he did. He did the same thing in qualifying. He did the same thing in the race. Unfortunate for him again. Dropping back so many places from P7 now to P12, and a lot of damage to add to that. We were hoping that he was going to have a better race. That didn't happen so far. But we're just going to cut back to Ayrton Stefano, the Argentinian driver, who is chasing down the final race win of the season. Now, I'm going to be saying that quite a lot. I'm going to be saying final of the season quite a bit this stream, because, well, you got to bring the hype up, don't you? Seven-tenths the gap. Now, I don't think there is too much of a pace gap. Yeah, okay, so Imran Zahali just doing a tenth quicker than Ayrton Stefano so far. And It's not a good baseline since it has only been 3 laps. Imran Zaheli making a couple of mistakes, which allowed Ayrton Stefano to just take some time off his current lap. And it does seem like Imran Zaheli made a mistake this lap because he's now 2 tenths slower than Ayrton Stefano. 4 tenths. The gap. Can he minimize that to 3 tenths before they get to the chicane? Now, I don't think he can. He actually losing a bit of time through the first couple of corners. And I don't think that's enough for him to be in the slipstream either. Will he be taking this chicane better than Imran? I think they took it pretty nicely and pretty close to each other now. Again, the stupid bug where it just lets out a shot into the air. It scared me yet again. Ayrton Stefano, though, keeping it nice and cool. Nice and close to Imran Zaheli. For what seems to be a pretty close race so far. Can't talk at all. Ah. Seems like also the lack of action has led to a lack of viewers, dropping down to a lowly 3. Thank you to whoever is watching so far, or right now. They are coming up to the final corner, and it is not going to be any closer than it was last time out. But Imran Zaheli making a tiny little mistake which allowed Ayrton Stefano to just find a 10th of his current lap, and he's going to be now climbing up through the uphill section. And will he have enough time to get alongside him before the chicane even starts? Now, I don't think he will, but it is definitely getting much closer between the two drivers. 3 tenths the gap, 2 tenths the gap. Imran Zaheli just hanging off, and that is Ayrton Stefano making a bigger mistake than Zaheli did before. Not a great showing from the Argentinian driver, who's now 1.2 seconds off his lead rival in this race. Camille Taha, yellow flag for him. That is a bad sign, to say the least. Let's just have a look at what happened to him. 32nd back. Now, is it just going to be a chicane incident? No, it won't. He's getting super close to Sabum Charian. Oh, he just binned it. But he did keep it going, but just losing out on 2 positions. So, not great from him. Porsche moment indeed. What else can we say except that Camille Taha is catching on to the position that he lost to Adi Asathia. 0.5 seconds the gap now. 0.8, 0.7. So the Porsche gaining surprisingly on the straight. Probably had a better exit than the BMW driver. Will he be able to get him in the swivelly corners of this track? He might, if he really tries. Seems like the gap, though, extending, so the Porsche possibly overcooking his tires from what I can see. And again, having to drift around that corner, losing a lot of time to Felix Palin behind him now. The Porsche Not really enjoying this track so far. It is supposed to be a much quicker car on this, with the whole BOP stuff. But it is sometimes the problem in the person behind the wheel. Maybe not so much a problem, but an issue with setup, or possibly just not able to adapt to such conditions. Now he is letting Felix Paland get so much closer. The Lamborghini driver trying to get alongside him. And he might be able to have the inside line for the penultimate corner. No, he doesn't. He just tucks in behind that Porsche driver. And will he be trying to get an overtake done on the first corner? 4/10 the gap. I don't think he's close enough to really try anything. He is going to be looking down the inside, but that is not enough. And he is just going to go off as well, making a bit of a mistake, which might cost him a overtake. A pretty boring track this is. I definitely thought it was going to be much closer racing. They are racing close, but they're not overtaking. Peter Creamer's in the pits, probably trying to get that damage nice and repaired. 3/10 the gap between Felix Paland and Camille Taha. Camille Taha last time out getting this corner incorrect, learning from his mishaps, and now trying to combat the ever-approaching Lamborghini driver behind him. Is he going to be going around the outside of this corner? No, he won't, but he's definitely putting a lot of pressure on Camille Taha, and maybe Camille Taha is feeling it under that helmet, sweating a bit, looking into the rearview mirror, seeing that wide blue Lamborghini as he just goes down the inside and making contact with the Porsche, letting him go. Now that was the closest thing we've seen so far in this race. Felix Paland just coming together with Camille Taha for what was just a brief altercation as Camille Taha just spins off. And that gives Felix Paland the top 10 he wanted, but Camille Taha sadly binning it off in the penultimate corner, so not a very happy driver, but definitely coming into the pits already. Not a great drive, not a great stint from the half Dutch driver, the half Palestine driver. Palestine driver, I don't know. Ayrton Stefano, while we were watching the Camille Taha and Felix Paland scrap, he has gotten much closer to Imran Zahaili. Imran Zahaili, not Imrin. 3/10 the gap. Is he going to be trying to go around the outside? No, he wasn't, because Imran is placing his car very nicely in all the positions that Ayrton Stefano would go. Now, will he be trying to go down the inside? I don't think he will, and that cost Ayrton Stefano a bit of time, a bit of tyre usage as well, as he just loses time again through the final corner. 4/10 the gap. He has the tow, but it's not going to be enough to get an overtake done into the first corner. No, it isn't. Now, obviously, there is sometimes the surprise overtakes that come out of nowhere. Alas, Ayrton Stefano, 3/10 the gap, going up the hill off the USA track. 2/10 the gap. Now, he is going to be really trying to squeeze the inside line, trying to make Imran Zahaili go very narrow, and sadly cannot overtake him here. Is he going to be trying to do the old switcheroo? Maybe the new switcheroo? No. Not enough space in that chicane. Now, it's definitely getting much closer between these two drivers. Hopefully they don't come together like we had the two leaders come together in Nürburgring in one of the first races. It was Ayrton Stefano and Mohamed Abareski coming together in the final stages of the race. Now, Alex Kingston is really eyeing up this battle as he just closes the gap by 2/10. So he's going to be hoping that these guys continue pushing each other to the absolute limit, as Ayrton Stefano does, and he gets just that better exit out of the final sector corners, and he's 3/10 closer than he was before. He's going to be trying to go down the inside. No, he doesn't. He's keeping it nice and under control. Now, if he gets a better exit out of here, I think he might be able to get this one nice and done. Now, did he scrape the wall? I don't think he did. Very close, though, indeed, by the Argentinian driver. 4/10. The toe not doing much to help him. And now Ayrton Stefano making just a bit of a mistake, which left him 1 second behind Imran Zaheli again. Alex Kingston now 1.5 seconds off Ayrton Stefano. So this is getting pretty close between the top three, as we would like. "20 minutes have passed off this race, and not a lot of action going on at all. Ayrton Stefano then having to do a lot of catch-up work in order to even get near Imran Zaheli once again. Now, will he be able to challenge him yet again into these penultimate final corners? And sadly, he won't, because he is 5/10 off, 7/10 of Imran Zaheli. Really unfortunate race for Ayrton Stefano, obviously. That is pretty weird, saying because he is in P2. Still a high podium position for the Argentinian driver. He doesn't even have to worry about positions at all. He is the champion, indeed, so he doesn't really have to worry for points at all. But the person that does have to worry for points is Abe Santama, who's just trying to get that lead, or sorry, get that gap between himself and I think P5 a bit closer. Now I can tell you by looking at the standings right now, it is Ayrton Stefano the champion, then it is Mohamed Irfan in P2. Closely behind him, 20 points behind him is Josh Buckwater, then Alex Kingston, who are tied on points. Adi Asathia 141 points, 2 points behind the tied P3. Then we have Abe Santama, who is a whole 8 points behind Adi Asathia. And then comes Peter Creamers, and then a couple of people that are not racing with us today. So I think it is definitely going to be a battle between between position 2 and position 7 for the championship. I don't think there's going to be much fighting at all, as Mohamed Irfan in the background just getting very close to Abe Santama, as we just lose one of the drivers as well. Ayrton Stefano, 3/10 the gap, 2/10 the gap. Now Imran Zaheli knows this. He's going to be defending the inside line. It's said that Ayrton Stefano has overtaken him, but he didn't. And that was the closest we've seen the two drivers before. Ooh, Ayrton Stefano getting all out of shape coming out of the first corner. I don't think Ayrton Stefano is stressing at all. He seems to be pretty under control now. Imran Zaheli chasing that first win of the season, and possibly of ever in this league. I don't think he has one so far in this league, but Ayrton Stefano trying to deny him. as he just shovels Imran along, trying to speed up the Audi driver. Three tenths is the gap. And Ayrton Stefano not able to find any gap to overtake the Audi at all. It seems like it is going to be a never-ending loop for 37 minutes straight. Nothing coming out of this chase. Definitely some close battling, but no overtakes in sight. I really thought this track would have a lot more overtakes, but now that I come to think about it, not a lot people can do in these winding corners. Nevertheless, Ayrton Stefano will hope to press on with the charge. Five tenths is the gap. Now, again, 4 tenths, 3 tenths. Imran Zahaili not defending the inside line. He knows that Ayrton Stefano won't go for that at all. And it seems like he was correct, because Ayrton Stefano now, again, hanging off 1 second, as did Peter Creamers have another off moment again? I don't think he did. And I hope he didn't, because he did bring out the yellow flag for just a slim amount of time. What happened here to the Dutch driver? Oh, he clipped a bit of the inside curb. And did he hit the wall? Yes, he did. So that is damage again for the number 197 McLaren. Having the worst of luck, just as he had since the start of season 3. So not a great 2 seasons for him. Hopefully he's going to be turning that around with a car change. Now I can't say which guy he's changing to yet, since he hasn't even revealed it too much. But here is Mohammed Irfan, 3 tenths off Abe Santima. Now will he be actually getting the move done here? He's got a pretty long way to go. Is he going to be trying to go around the outside? No, he doesn't. Maybe he pulls off the old switcheroo. He's getting very close indeed. He might be going down the inside of the uphill section, which he does. They're going to be going side by side. Now this is very close, because one of them is going to hit the wall as they come out of here. Mohammed Irfan able to hang on to the back of that Audi with the Honda NSX. Is he going to be going... Oh, he was really thinking of going down the inside of that chicane. Thinking better of it though, not wanting to end his race prematurely. And it only seems like the gap for Alex Kingston is just growing and growing between him and Abe Santima, and between him and Ayrton Stefano. So I guess Alex Kingston is a bit of a middleman in terms of this race so far. Not able to really catch up, but nobody catching up to him either. So whatever's happening here, he is enjoying it. As again, Ayrton Stefano 3 tenths the gap. I don't think he is any closer than he was before. And that is really showing, and he's just having to back off and not doing much here. Is Mohammed Irfan any closer? No, he isn't. He's actually further behind than he was last time out. Not going to be going side by side in the uphill section right now. Might be challenging him into this chicane. And he doesn't either, because he's way too far back. Oh, did Imranza Haley have an off moment? It is showing him as a white flag, which shows that he has been a slower car. But not doing much there for Ayrton Stefano in terms of catching up to the Audi. Now, while this does happen, please remember that we are not going to be going away for long. It is going to be only a 3-week break between the 2 seasons. And hopefully the next one will be much bigger and better than this one was. Hoping to bring a couple of new additions, a couple new rules and different bits and bobs, just to help out the drivers and help out the watch entertainment as well. Hopefully, maybe some different strategies as Ayrton Stefano comes into the pits. So that is a pretty early pit stop. As Abe Santama also dives into the pit stop, just seeing as Ayrton Stefano comes in as well. So wanting to copy the Argentinian driver obviously having a better experience in terms of strategy than most of the drivers out here. He has won some of the big races, such as one of the Logitech G races. Let me just have a look and check. Yeah, it was the McLaren G Challenge America 2021 race. So he is definitely experienced when it comes to Assetto Corsa racing, Assetto Corsa Competizione racing. So he definitely knows what he's doing in terms of this pit. And Abe Santama wanting to just copy that. And Ayrton Stefano now coming out onto the track. He came out 8th. So we'll see where he ends up by the time everybody else do their pit stops. Will Imranza Haley come out on top, or will Ayrton Stefano take that position away from the Audi driver? Now, is Alex Kingston going to be able to catch up to Imranza Haley and possibly push the Audi to the limit? Nope, Imranza Haley coming in for a pit stop as well. Now, we will actually look at him as he just comes in and possibly will come out ahead or behind the Argentinian driver. How many laps was the Mx5 race going to be? It is 15 laps. I have it set to, I think, 35 minutes, just in case there is any sort of stops or anything like that. 15 laps. It might be more than that, but configuration says 15. So around 35 minutes of racing. A sprint race, as it says in the title. Now, Imranza Haley gonna come out of the pits soon, buddy, because you have Ayrton Stefano, who's gonna be coming up behind him very close. And is that Ayrton Stefano? It is! So Ayrton Stefano actually jumping Imranza Haley in the pits, and that is by a mile. Imranza Haley now 4.6 seconds behind Ayrton Stefano, obviously on 1 lap younger tires, but the amount of time he's gonna have to spend warming these tires up, Ayrton Stefano will already be pretty much minted for the race. So, as we said before, Ayrton Stefano able to really use his strategic logic to come out ahead of the P1 sitter And by a long shot, I just tried out the track and it's pretty fun indeed. I still cannot come to mind what is that mix. What is the total mix of that track? Is it a mix of Brands Hatch and Zolder, or is it a mix of some other tracks? Because those curbs, they're massive on some parts of the track. As Mohamed Irfan comes in for his pit stop as well. Will he come out ahead of Abe Santama? I don't think he will. The overcut here not working too great, as Imran Zahaili really showing us here. Now there is Abe Santama and there is Mohamed Irfan in the pit. And there is Abe Santama just coming towards the finish line, and he's going to be ahead of Mohamed Irfan. Also by probably a pretty long time. So if you ever do a race on here, remember that the overcut is not worth it. As Camille Taha, what has happened to him and what has happened to Mockstocks? Both doing yellow flags. Is Camille Taha even here? Nope. He has vaporized into existence. Oh, he gave up. Too tired. So there you have it. Our second retiree of this race so far. 12 drivers. All going to be getting a whole lot of points. Can't keep up in my head. Wow. That is an unfortunate sight for Camille Taha, who's retired from this race. As Mockstocks just gets lapped by Imran Zahaili. And Ayrton Stefano now coming very close to Felix Paland, who's yet to pit. So possibly Felix Paland gonna come into the pits. And yes, he does. He's just even putting on his hazards. And exiting out of the pit entry. First 5 minutes went well. And then I messed up big time. I think I even caught that on stream. I caught some mess ups from Camille Taha because there is not much to look at, and whenever there's a yellow flag, there is action. Imran Zahaili, hold on, did he get jumped by Alex Kingston as well? That is actually interesting, as Alex Kingston and Imran Zahaili are going to be very close together. I think Alex Kingston just coming out of the pits. His tyres are going to be well cold as they're just coming into the chicane. There is Adi Asathia for some reason just in the middle of the chicane, sitting very nicely. What kind of lap times have people been making on the track? So far, the fastest lap time is a 1:45.1, sorry, by Imran Zahaili, the person that we are looking at. Average lap times of about 1:46. And that is Adi Asathia also retiring from this race. We might only have 10 people finishing right now. I don't really know why you would exit this race. It is very easy point grabs. I might have a chance for a top 10 finish. Oh, what are the lap times on the AC track? I think it's been about 1:44. I thought you were talking about this race. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, you definitely have a chance for a top 10 because from Assetto Corsa races, a lot of people decide to not join. So you definitely have a big chance at finishing in the top 10 if only 10 people join. Even if more people join, I still think you have a great chance at some good laps and good time finishes. As Imran Zahaili, is he going to be trying to go down the inside, round the outside? No, he doesn't. Alex Kingston just giving him a nice block in the middle of the track. 23 minutes to go in this race. And Imran Zahaili, all of a sudden, dropping down to P3 just from a set of pit stops. So whatever happened to Imran, he's going to be questioning after the race. Might have I not included a tire change? No, I did. So everybody changed tires, so everybody's pretty much on the same strategy. It just seems like some people had got it much better. So overcut worked for Alex Kingston, didn't work for Imran Zahaili, and didn't work for Mohammed Irfan. But the undercut worked wonders for Ayrton Stefano, who got out of that dirty air, got into the pits, got new fresh tires, and went out, did a great outlap, and is now finding himself in the lead of the final race of the season, as we like to say on this channel. Imran Zahaili not too happy with how Alex Kingston has been defending. At least that's what I would think. I don't want to put any accusations into what he might be thinking. But definitely some cheeky defending from Alex Kingston in the Ferrari. But he is finding himself in P2. So finally, another British person finishing P2. Now that would usually be me. No bragging there, but now I hand over the legacy to a young Alex Kingston. He's probably older than me, so I can't really say that. And he is also driving the Ferrari, so I can't say that double. 1.5 seconds the gap now. 1.8. So Imran Zahaili driving possibly with a bit of nerve, knowing that he has gave up 2 places under the pit stop, and is now trying to get them back, and is getting a bit anxious with where he might end up. Hopefully he ends still in the podium places, but he would definitely like to be first, which he was until the first round of pit stops. Mohammed Irfan, oh god, Mohammed Irfan in the back, trying to get revenge on Abe Santama. When I say revenge, I only really mean in terms of pit stops. I don't think Abe Santama has done anything wrong or anything towards Mohammed Irfan to make any bad air between them. And that is me done for water. So that is not great. Imran Zahaili, by the way, very close to Alex Kingston, who seemed to make a mistake. Easiest top 10 finish of the season. Yeah, absolutely. And so far, the only person to not be in this top 10 is Peter Kremers. Because, again, of his bad luck, where he crashed once and crashed again. But he might be getting the P10 he deserves now, as Harry Clayton's going very slow. And yes, he does. Peter Kremers in P10 now. The highest finish is P8. I fought tooth and nail for that. Yep. That's usually what happens. You don't join these races and you don't get the easy point grab, as these guys will right now. Mohammed Irfan in the background, getting ever so close to Abe Santama, who it looked like grazed a bit of that wall. .2 the gap between the two drivers. These guys are very similar in terms of pace. So I'm not going to be too surprised if they fight until the end of this race. Two very experienced drivers, two drivers that I have raced previously. Mohammed Irfan, very quick. He's kind of like Lewis Hamilton. You tell him to do hammer time and he really does hammer it down and overtakes most people that are ahead of him. Abe Santama, on the other hand, consistently fast all round, so he doesn't need any strategical call in order for him to go quick. He just does go quick. Biggest flaw is just the defense, which he doesn't have to do here. He just has to do what he's best at, defending it against the Indonesian driver. 3/10 the gap between the two drivers. Abe Santama so far not making a mistake, so one of his best races in the season. 2/10 the gap now. Abe Santama going to be sweating under that helmet, braking quite late. Both drivers, Mohammed Irfan shoveling Abe along. Not a lot either drivers can do unless Abe Santama makes a crucial mistake. I don't think Mohammed Irfan will be getting ahead anytime soon. Just on the straight finish line. I think they are closer than they've ever been before. This has definitely been a strongest showing of both drivers in terms of racecraft. Mohammed Irfan did take a race win this season already. Ersan Stefano going to be getting his 5th race of the season. Touch wood, I hope he doesn't mess it up. Abe Santama hoping to keep this top 4. Imran Zahaili also trying to get that P2 from the British driver. So 2 very good battles out on track right now. The rest pretty spaced. Peter Creamer is going to be catching up to Mockstux for P9, and then it's going to be a long journey of about 60 seconds to Felix Payne. And oh, Imran Zahaili overtaking Alex Kingston in what seemed to be a touch pass, because he definitely had a yellow flag for a split second. Now let's just have a look at what happened here. Is Imran Zahaili going to do anything here? Is he going to be going for an overtake? Maybe Alex Kingston just getting out of control. No, this is... Oh, just hitting a random bump on the track. That is the first time I've seen somebody get out of control right in the middle. Now everybody roasts the British track Silverstone or Alton Park for having so many bumps and dips in the track. Now have a look at Watkins Glen literally getting out of control in the middle of the track. So very unfortunate for him, losing a whole position to Imran Zahaili. So Alex Kingston not able to hold on to P2. The British driver still doing us proud by being on that podium. Now you see, I don't say it like the stereotypical British person. I do say it with the T involved, because who doesn't like tea? And wherever there's tea, I like to pronounce it. So the British driver, Alex Kingston, went into the dip. Seems like there's a pretty British. Yes, there we go. That's how you talk it. The British driver, Alex Kingston, has lost the position to Imran Zahaili. And now it's Peter Kremers who is ahead of Mockstux with a heck lot of damage. I wanted to say a heck lot of damage and a lot of damage, and now I just ended up with a heck lot of damage. Sounding a bit like a Scottish person. And, oh, Mockstux in the wall, it looked like, over there in the background. So, Peter Kremers into P9. Sounds like Scots to me. Yeah, nay bother, mate. Nay bother, laddie. Nay bother, laddie. That is the only thing I know how to say in Scot. Also, Hom will do me. Hom will do me. I think, is John Gibson watching the stream? I don't think he is. He would definitely scold me for the Scot. Mohammed Irfan, 8/10 of Abe Santama. Mohammed Irfan, 8/10 of Abe Santama. Definitely further away than they were before. One second the gap. Not really a lot going on track, except that one little bump from the British driver Alex Kingston, who literally lost it in the middle of the track due to a pothole, probably the size of my head. I could see it from the commentary box. So I blame the pothole, not the driver. And another cool thing that happened is Ayrton Stefano obviously taking the lead with a pretty big undercut, from what I could have seen. Mohammed Irfan, though, not giving up on this charge to P4. Now, I said these guys are going to be fighting tooth and nail until the end of this race, unless one of them makes a mistake. Now, Mohammed Irfan ever so close to Abe Santamon, not able to do anything to get much closer. It's definitely been a pretty dull end to the season. Cannot lie. Laguna flashbacks. Yeah, indeed, I was literally typing in chat in the practice saying Laguna situation again, question mark. Yeah, this time it is me suffering, but see, it's not a lot to go as Peter Creamer's falling back again. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Peter Creamer's, please. What has happened here? So final corner. And he just drops it. That has to be one of the worst seasons I've seen in terms of luck. Peter Creamer's in the pits. And I think for the final time, I don't think he might be coming out because he is probably pretty annoyed with himself and the car. Because I know Peter Creamer's. I know him since season 1. He is not that bad. As he just comes into chat saying what a setup he has. And absolutely, Peter, you are not as bad of a driver as you have shown in the season. I cannot believe what's going on. Time to park it up for today. Unlucky. Peter Creamer's retiring from this race, leaving us to 10 drivers. He is done, indeed. So, an abrupt end to his final race off this season. Now, hopefully, he will come back really strong for season 5, for what will be, hopefully, a split season as well. So, not a split season, a different split season. So we're going to have different tracks for everybody. So hopefully Peter Creamer's will not be involved in any silly action with slower drivers, and hopefully he'll have a much better season next time out. How will you cover 2 different tracks at the same time, different event hours for different classes? Well, Matas, you do know there's a thing of 2 servers. We can host 2 servers for 2 races, so that means 2 different classes on 2 different servers. Asking about the broadcast, well, could be different hours for different classes. We could definitely do that. Could be even different days, as I have done that research as Mohammed Irfan, going so close to Abe Santom as we're talking about this. As I have done that little research thing, and we could do one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. Or we could do one early Saturday, one late Saturday. If I'm AM, I'm all for splits. Well, you know, I hate to embarrass you, and I hate to possibly even compliment you. I don't want to compliment you. I think you're pretty quick, so I think you might be in the pro season. Next season will be better. Too hot for practice last week's. You're going back to AM and pro. No, I haven't ignored you. I've just been answering a pretty in-depth question. Yeah, back to AM and pro. Last time we did it pretty weirdly, so this time out, who knows? Maybe it'll be the best thing ever to happen with this season. Peter is labelled the division between pro and AM. Now I'm behind him a bit. Is he labelled between pro and AM? I think he isn't. I beg to differ, because that man is super, super quick. When he needs to be quick. He's kind of like Quali in that search, in that mine. He's kind of like Ralph Vandermeer. He really does go quick, and then he goes slow. He's usually at the back of the alien fast guys. Well, you do know with a 40 grid split, I think there might be more than just alien drivers now. I obviously can be wrong on this assumption, but I think there might be more than just aliens. And I think both you and Peter will be in the pro split completely. I'm usually top 3 off of the rest. Bah. Don't want to be battling for last is all I'm saying. Well, I think that's just what you're going to have to deal with. Either get quicker or either battle for last. Anything else? If I was to join next season, would I be an AM? I haven't really seen you race at all, so possibly, probably. I haven't seen you at the front at least, so probably down in AM. Now again, you might come completely in front of everybody with whatever car you decide to drive next season. As these two continue fighting as the final 5 minutes come upon us. And that was a pretty loud bang as well. The Audi not first anymore. Passed by pit strategy. Yes, he was actually passed by pit strategy. Yes. Ayrton Stefano doing a massive undercut on Imran Zahali. Imran Zahali not able to really return anything to that. In Zandvoort I was around P13 or P12 until I bottled it out of how many people? Was that sound effect? Or someone being shot outside your house? That was a sound bug in ACC, sadly. It is known to Kunos about this, and they're not doing really anything. Now, nobody is getting shot outside. I can assure you that I am not living in an A. So, I am not really... There's no guns. That's all I can say. Abe having a good battle today. Yeah, absolutely. Getting very close with Mohammed Irfan. Yeah, it's UK getting stabbed outside. Well, I don't think... I don't think a loud bang is somebody getting stabbed. Now, I haven't seen anybody get stabbed or somebody hearing somebody get stabbed, but that is not the sound effect. Might. Yeah, it's Peter Cremus's tire. Just going up in flames. As I think he might have caused arson on his car. He might just set it alight and let somebody else deal with it as he just walks back to his hotel for probably the final time. Now, from speculation I've heard, I don't think Peter will be driving the McLaren. I think it's going to be a German manufacturer. I don't want to spoil anything. Could be Mercedes. Could be Reiter Engineering. I think they're German. Yes, they are. Could be BMW. Could be Porsche. But wait, is Porsche German? Yeah, it is. What am I talking about? Porsche is German. Yeah, what? So I do think that Peter Cremus will benefit from such a car change. Next season, it will not be Macca indeed. So there we go, stepping away from the British auto manufacturer and possibly stepping into the shoes of the M6. Sorry. I hope you're joking, because the M6 is horrible. Did this man really ask if Porsche is German? Yeah, you know, I don't want to be wrong. So, and I for a second, I thought it was Italian because Porsche kind of sound Italian, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm even doing anymore. It's 1 minute left of the final season, of the final race of the finals, of the final, of the finale, final race of the finale, final race of the season. It is the final lap of the final race of the final. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm going a bit insane. It is the final lap of the final race in the season finale. There we go. It'll probably be the M4 as I did like it in the 6 hour last week. Yeah, well, that'll be very good indeed as these two drivers don't want to give it up at all. They don't want to desert you. And they don't want to make you cry. As Rick Astley once said in his famous song, "Never gonna give you up." Mohammed Irfan really doesn't want to give up on this at all, as it looks like Ayrton Stefano will come across the line in about 30 seconds or so to become the final race winner of the season. Oh, did Abe Santama defend? Oh, that was very close between the two drivers. Indeed, this is getting down to the wire. Alex Kingston over here, he's really close to Imran Zahali. What is going on? Mohammed Irfan really swerving from left to right, trying to get the best exit out of the last corners. Alex Kingston not able to do anything. Mohammed Irfan not able to do anything. Oh, this is getting very close. Alex Kingston though, final corner. No, not enough here. Not enough in order to get ahead of Imran Zahali. Look at the background over there. The winner is Ayrton Stefano. Well done to them. Did Mohammed Irfan get him on the line? I think he did. I think Mohammed Irfan might have just got Abe on the line on the final corner of the final race. What an end to such a dull race. Mohammed Irfan finishing ahead of Abe Santama. I think there might have even been a photo finish from what I can see. Beautiful finish by the two competitive drivers. Can we wind it back at all? There we go. So I just want to see this final race, whatever, or final little battle. This is a replay, obviously. They have already finished the race. So we have Mohammed Irfan, who was about to... Oh, so Abe Santama making that crucial mistake. And again, slipping just a bit wide. And that led Mohammed Irfan to go ahead just down to the line. A very good drag race between the two drivers. And Abe Santama not going to be too happy with himself, literally letting that final top 5 position go. But there we have it. Ayrton Stefano taking the final race win of the final race in the season. 0.091 difference. Yeah, absolutely crazy. And it's been an amazing season. We can even get rid of this ACC TV stuff. And we can have a look at what people have been saying. Bought the TLC 5 minutes before the practice. Sorry if I'm slow. Still learning the track. He had a stop and go 30-second. He did end the season. Did end the season without finishing the race. Peter Creamer's also not finishing the race, just ending it in the pits. Everybody else saying a good race and a good season. And I will add, that was close between Irfan and Abe. Very close between the two competitive drivers. Now, I can't imagine that such a dull race would have such a mad ending. Just like that, 900ths of a second separating 4 and 5, and everybody else just relaxing as it was the final race. Alex Kingston also 0.3 off. Among Us time. Oh god. People getting a bit hyped for a game that's basically made for 3-year-olds. Yeah, I think it's been a pleasure being the commentator, being my first season a commentator for this league. Obviously, I am the owner, so I get to set the rules, who is the commentator, who's not. Sadly, Rin was not able to come around for the final race of the season. He will be joining us tomorrow, though, as you should as well, in the Assetto Corsa race and the Mx5 Cup. So you should join us for that tomorrow if you want to see some very close racing on a different game. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. BST time. Be sure to be there. Be sure to put it on your calendars. Thank you for the season. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for the commentary. I'm glad you enjoyed that too. It's been a pretty good learning process for me. Definitely hoping to bring this into more action next season. But for the final time so far in the GT3 season, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you join us tomorrow for the Assetto Corsa race, and I will see you